The Constitution will not be saved in Washington. The Constitution will not be saved in Washington. The Constitution will not be saved in Washington.
Travis Wayne Goodsell, they are just playing games with me. They're just playing games. This was the filing of the motion to dismiss of Judge Jenkins. Finally decided, since I'm having to argue more, I might as well see what else I need to add. God, you'll never guess what he did on his own without a motion from the defense counsel, as it was priorly approved by the magistrate judge and thus required. Yeah, he says it failed to state a claim upon which relief must be granted. Again, this is just unheard of, but his reasoning here is outright treasonous, and so my amended complaint has merit for that. He says that he must decide whether the allegations in the complaint are true and construes those allegations and any reasonable inferences that might be drawn from them. And so that's disturbing. Then he says, nevertheless, conclusionary allegations. I'm going to have to go over it, but I'm pretty sure I listed the facts. But nonetheless, he goes on, must contain enough facts to state a claim. So I'm ignoring the door right now. They can do something else right now. He says, alleges a relatively narrow basis for the court's jurisdiction, namely the Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Actions Act, because let's see, I do not define any alleged enterprise. He says, I discussed a number of individuals and entities, but I did not define the enterprise. That's the defendant, the corporation of the president. That's the enterprise, that's the corporation. And I listed out those in the corporation. This is not making any sense. Without such fundamental allegations, the court cannot meaningfully address any of the elements of the RICO claim. Unbelievable. I think he's a little too old to make a judgment. So that's disturbing. And so he says, accordingly, it must be dismissed. So yeah, he must And then in the note, he also says that some of these allegations appear to overlap with those in the first case, which Judge Waddups already decided. No, Judge Waddups is included in the complaint. Therefore, the allegations in that complaint are necessary to be used in this complaint for a basis. And thus, the whole thing with failing to state a claim. I must be able to refer to the original allegations in order to have a sufficient claim upon which relief may be granted. You see how they're trying to set me up here? And so, yeah, this is bad. We have a national security crisis, and they're saying, screw you, Travis, we're going to destroy America, whether you like it or not. So, yay. And so they're making it very clear, they will not let me win. I will not be allowed to take my case to court. They will not allow it. It's very clear. I'll still file the next amendment tomorrow. Work on it tomorrow. And as you guys are aware, they seem to time with signs in the heavens. Tomorrow is a sign in the heaven. It's the, let's see, 16th. I don't think I have. This is where did I file it? Dreaming. It's not that one, is it? Oh, what Christmas, as long as it's not nuclear winter. Bo, 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 bo. Okay, there's 13th. That was 2 days ago. Alright, so this is the new moon is being born. This is really cool. Stellarium lets me see nebula because it's using satellite imagery, which, wow, that's cool. But yeah, there's tomorrow. The moon and the sun are right there at Spica, Bethlehem. So religion and government giving birth. And then on the 18th, the moon becomes the judge. I just want to throw up my hands and say, my God. But that's exactly what they want me to do. They want me to give up. I can't give up. They won't leave me alone. Because if I give up, guess what's going to happen? No more videos. And I'm sure many Mormons are going to love that. Because wickedness is happiness, right? Isn't that right, Mormons? Being bad is good. I want to be bad. And it's not the same as drinking Mountain Dew and saying, oh, you're being bad, you're violating the word of wisdom. That's a different thing that Mormons don't get, but that's another video topic. So I have to plead for a God to step in because I'm not able to do it. There, I've admitted it. I can't do it. So a God must now step in to do what I cannot do. Let God and let go. And technically that's an inappropriate thing. You don't just not do anything. You're supposed to do all you can. Then after you've done all you can and your enemy won't let you get it any further, then God steps in. That's the Book of Mormon precept. You know, go back, get the brass plates. Okay, Laman goes after they, toss rocks. And Laman draws the short straw. He goes in, talks to Laban, and depending on which cartoon or movie version you watch, it has a different character for Laman, based on Mormon bias. And says, "No, get out, you're trying to steal from me." And so then they beat up Nephi, and an angel appears and says all sorts of stuff about Moses and House of Israel and blah blah blah. And so no, wait, that's after the gold. So they then say, okay, well, let's try to buy it. They go to their house, and there's all the silver and gold in the house. They try to buy it. No, you're trying to steal from me. I'm going to murder you. And then they leave behind all their silver and gold, and so he steals from them and accuses them of theft, and then issues his own death decree as a false accuser, that he wants them dead as a punishment. And so, yeah, then they beat him with sticks, and then angel stops them, and so apparently Nephi's still fit enough, after being beat with sticks, to go into the city all by himself, and follows the Lord, not knowing beforehand where he was going. And then Laban comes stumbling out drunk, passes out, and then Laban is told to fulfill the law of Moses in Deuteronomy, which he didn't know of because they didn't have the brass plates yet. And so, yeah, he cuts off his head in fulfillment of Deuteronomy 19:19, and then find out after the fact that he was a good guy. He's not a killer, murderer, and yeah, get Zoram to come with them, and they get the plates. But in that scenario, God doesn't step in, does he? He leads them where to go, but it's Nephi who has to go. And so my experience here is I can't do anything else. I'm stuck. I've gone to talk with them. I've tried to buy them, metaphorically. I've tried to go in, not knowing beforehand where I'm going, but no Laban to smite off his head, metaphorically speaking, of course. That's just not happening. And so if it's in my control to do something, I do it, and it's awesome, and I know it's good. You know, deciphering Paleo-Hebrew. You know, that wasn't a situation where God stepped in, other than he gave ideas every now and then when I got stuck on something. And following those ideas turned out, hey, wow, okay, not only did I get my answer, but I got more stuff that helped me out with the bigger picture. But in this situation, I can't do anything. Just like when I filed in 2008 with the state, saying, hey, you guys are being mean, stop it. And they turned around and said, oh, we're being mean? You're now a terrorist threat, and we're locking you away without a trial indefinitely because of the Patriot Act that Utah signed here in Utah law. And so, yeah, disappeared, locked up 6 years of my life. Supposed to be indefinitely forever. I shocked everybody when the new girl got hired and said, oh, you're fine to go. I don't see anything wrong. Apparently they didn't leave her a message saying you can't let this guy pass. But anyway, I'm out. But I knew I was never going to see the light of day again. I was sure of it. I knew that's exactly what they were going to do to me from the beginning. And so I expected to die. And so I didn't conform and comply. You know, I just stuck to myself. And they still tried to force me to do things according to their will. But no, my life was over. And they wanted me to conform and comply. Take away my agency. I had not been found guilty of anything, and they turned it into a prison camp. It's not supposed to be a prison camp according to Utah law, but they made it a prison camp. They tried to extort from me. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't get a haircut unless you get to a level C. Oh, okay, I guess I don't get a haircut. Oh, you don't get any scriptures. You can't go to church unless you're level C. Okay, guess I won't be going to church. Guess I won't be getting any scriptures, which is religious discrimination. They were more than happy to give me Mormon scriptures, but then I said I wanted a Hebrew Bible, in Hebrew, biblical Hebrew. And then I said I wanted a Greek text of the New Testament, if not the whole Bible. And they couldn't comply with any of that. They didn't want to. They were more than happy with their religion, but not with other people's religions. Understand that. Mormons are religious bigots. They will not allow other people to exercise their freedom of religion. They may claim to openly, but inwardly, they don't want you to be a part of that religion. And they call you heathen behind your back. Or, with the new online technology, they'll tell you on a tweet or a post or a comment or whatever social media platform you use, if you're not Mormon. Mormons are pure evil. And so, yeah, this is a situation where I don't know how it happened, but key people retired that paved the way for my release. And in this situation, I need something so that I can continue to do what I was originally asked to do. He knows that, I know it. It's now up to him. Because this is absurd. They just want to play games. Extorting the judges, saying, hey, you're Mormon, remember? You need to defend the church. Remember your temple covenants. Screw America, defend the church. I can't compete with that. And so, something has to happen. And I don't know what will. Oftentimes, in the case of being locked up, it was individuals who, doing their job or decided to retire, putting new people in who decided to do their job, not understanding why I was what I was and doing there what I was doing there. See, when I was in the Salt Lake County Jail, everybody was like, what are you doing here? You're not like us. Oh, I'm a big bad terrorist. I wrote a complaint for a petition for a redress of grievances, which they called a book, a manifesto or whatever. Big bad mean old person for writing. So if you've ever seen Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon version, I haven't seen the live version yet, but yeah, it's the same concept, I imagine, the same songs, I guess. But yeah, Gaston, what's this? It's a book. Reading and all, and throws it in the mud, and the sheep eat it. She was able to get the mud off pretty easily. But yeah, it's just get you thinking and stuff. Yeah, the church doesn't want Mormons to expand their horizons beyond what they tell them to know. And heaven forbid I should find out that they are the seditious traitors who had orchestrated and planned this way back in the beginning. As the defense counsel is like, we've never heard of this. Therefore, there is no claim upon which relief can be. I mean, literally. They're trying to force my hand to present the evidence so that they can plan a case. No, that's not how it works. You respond, then I then present the evidentiary list prior to an evidentiary hearing. And then we have the evidentiary hearing where I present my evidence, which you then are able to go through the evidence list and say, okay, I don't know what this is. How do we defend against this if we don't know what it is? And so, yeah, that's where they get slammed, is because I know what they don't know in order to defend their client, because their client isn't informing them of what that evidence is and why they need to be concerned about it. So we're running out of time. I looked on the amendment Rule 15, and it does say that it's not extended time, which I made a mistake in filing the amendment. They still have from when I first filed. I'll have to keep checking again, but they're supposed to reply before doing the motion to dismiss. They're not just supposed to say, oh, here we are, motion to dismiss. They need to reply. And they can't just say, oh, we don't understand. Where's the evidence? We need evidence. And so, yeah, Judge Jenkins clearly knew what to do in this situation. We're not going to let no pro se litigant have a day in court. So, yeah. And here I thought it was something else. And it wasn't. So, yeah, we'll need to amend. So I'll need to put the real reason why Judge Jenkins committed treason here. And the reason why doing stuff to me is treason is because I'm trying to save America because of what the church has done to me. And so, yeah, if anybody have been listening to my previous videos, the 18th, that's the last day for the fulfillment of the biblical prophecy of the Exodus in the latter days. Sunday, 6 p.m. Jewish time. Assuming that it's supposed to be Jewish time, because there's a sign at midnight. That's what I was looking at. Where the moon is at the top of the scales of judgment. And so clearly the case can't be it, because it's at the beginning stages. And so technically I failed. Babylon is not fallen. But it is interesting that they did it today. And that means that they would have counseled with the church leaders today, and Oaks would have said, well, just file another motion to dismiss. Okay. As by your command. By your command. If you guys remember Battlestar Galactica. The Cylons. let me check the exact time of when their assistant, or secretary, emailed it to me. What are you doing? 2:37. Yeah, after their meeting. They would have held the meeting at around 10ish. It would have depended on when, if and when Bednar was involved in that treasonous activity out in Saudi Arabia. They're an enemy of America. They're involved. Their guys caused 9/11. Remember that? Oh, it's Pakistan. Oh, no, it's Afghanistan. Oh, there's opiates in Afghanistan. We'll stay here and run the opiate trade for the whole world and help pharmaceutical companies do opioid drugs, as doctors will be given a commission to overprescribe opioids, get them addicted, and then they'll be forced onto heroin. And then, it was Saddam Hussein. So, yeah, we coup d'etat Iraq. Coup d'etat Iraq? It's a French thing. Coup d'etat. No T sound. And, yeah, so we literally created a vacuum in the Middle East. And so thus gave rise to Al-Qaeda. And then getting rid of Al-Qaeda gave rise to ICE. Not ISIS. IS. The news got played on as chumps on that one, as they were misinformed as to their identity. They're ICE. IS. Don't call them Isis, the goddess of Egypt. As Egyptologists were putting out posts on social media saying, don't confuse us with the goddess Isis. And so, yeah, you do bad things, worse things happen. That's the consequences. We know them by their fruit. We know Bush by his fruit. He's bad. Bad. And yes, there is a connection with this court-appointed person that all ties all of this together. I haven't done that video, but I took all the notes for it. It involves Bush v. Gore with Roberts, Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. They were all on that case, getting Bush to become president. And then we had 9/11, 1 year after. Oh, who was security for the towers? You'll never find it. There's nobody listed anymore. Somebody removed it from the historical records. But a year previous, a Bush brother was in charge of security for the towers. But he, of course, is said to have stopped working for the towers a year before. Just nobody else is listed as security during that time. And they hope we all forget. And then there's the BYU professor in physics who said, no, the towers can't fall that way from planes. There's something else going on, because you're claiming from the Senate report that it defied the laws of physics. And then you have a computer programmer who did a little computer model showing how it was able to fall that quickly. He didn't put in the law of physics equation to make... God. Because the people who built it specifically said before this, right back in the beginning, we built this tower to withstand a plane crash. A big 747 plane crash. They did a whole thing on it, of how they built it and what it was able to withstand. And so now we're just supposed to say, oh, I guess they were wrong. I guess they were poor architects. They had a flaw. And the physics professor, whom the church silenced, by the way, You know, he doesn't know physics. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Demolition. Yeah, that was what his claim was. The only way it was able to fall at that speed, as if charges were set at the various levels in order to result in that quick of a drop, like a demolition. And then you have the British news crew that were stationed here in America, had the towers, had the one lesser tower. There were other towers that the third one fell also. And they're saying that that third tower fell. And you see it in the background. What? Right there. It's right behind you. Turn around. It's not fallen yet. And sure enough, after their reporting, it fell. And so, you know, remember I did the video about somebody complaining at midnight about 9/11 earlier this week. That connects. Yeah. All of this is connected. They were trying to silence my 9/11 video as all this connects. And then I find out later this week, oh, the plot thickens. So yes, this is an attack on us by our government, guys. Oh dear God. But yeah. And Russia is involved because of what happened in 4 CE on April 8th. What's going to happen in April 8th, 20 years later? Over the United States of America, crossing over the United States' previous total solar eclipse. Exactly. This all ties together. They're playing a little numbers game on us, guys. 2020. 20s. And, wow. So for 2020, 2000, 2024. Yeah, they're playing a numbers game. Because this year is the first month of the new year for Jews, which is 3,333 years from the Exodus. Yeah, they're playing a numbers game. Man, those bastards. So, yeah, this is bad news, guys. Like I said, this is out of my hands. I can't do anything. I've raised the title of liberty so many times on this channel, and the previous channel. I have Random Muse. And as much as I enjoy his videos, because I understand them, most people don't understand his videos. And so, yeah, he has very few subscribers and very few views. And I don't know of anybody else who's doing any kind of speaking out. I do continually get new subscribers, but I hope they understand that this channel is not just me bashing the church with making accusations that come to the top of my head. This is an all-out war that we need to save America from. And I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll still continue to do what I can, but if nothing steps in to say, okay, all right, or some natural event steps in, which I contacted Ventus guy, asking them about the negative 200 degrees worldwide on the 23rd of October at 9 p.m. It's been fixed. That would have been a death day. 9 p.m., that's the end of the world. Nobody would be able to survive negative 200 degrees. You can't hunker down in your home with the heater turned up or a fire in the fireplace. That's not going to be good enough. So yeah, it was just a glitch. It's all been fixed. We're not going to die that way. Day after tomorrow will not occur anytime soon, apparently. Although this weekend's coming close. Oh man. So I just so frustrated. I know, I just tried to do what I know needs to be done. To speak out. To tell people to stop it. Stop the abuse. And they just keep compounding the abuse. How dare you challenge us? No one else dares to molest or make afraid. Why are you? And they just won't pull the trigger. They have to torture. They have to punish. God. All right. I thought I thought Barr might have stepped in to help save everybody, but he didn't. He didn't. So yeah, his job is on the line. His life is on the line. Liberty, because if Trump loses and leaves office, Barr is going to get indicted, removed from office, and arrested, serve prison time. So still have pollution to cough up. Like I told you guys in the beginning, once pollution or allergies, whatever the source is, I'm coughing for months afterward. Alright, that's it for now, I guess. But I have to let God and let go. I've done all that I can do. And yes, there's the Doctrine and Covenants passage that says, oh, well, when you've done all you can do and your enemy prevents you, God no longer requires it of you. This does not work in that scenario, because this is God's prophecies that must be fulfilled. He says specifically, all my words will be fulfilled, must be fulfilled, shall be fulfilled. And so this is not my personal life experience stuff. That's the difference. This is global impact. The church is not just attacking me. They're attacking everybody. And so I just, that's disturbing. Because, see, the case in Waddups was the whole scenario of how they're a criminal RICO. And so he then says, oh, you're not establishing the RICO connection, you know, like I did in the first one. And so this one was just, oh, they're committing an act of treason against the United States in their attack on me, getting the court to dismiss the first case. So, God. Because, you know, we can't protest. We'll be domestic terrorists. That's Utah. I still haven't checked the coronavirus stats, but we're going up to 15%. We're rising. That's red. And they're not stopping. They're not shutting down anything. They're just letting people die. They're hoping I get it. Because Governor Herbert is listed in this one. And so, yeah. Jenkins dismisses it. Yeah, he's not just protecting the church here. He's protecting the whole gang, of which he is a part of. And he says, I don't see any labeling of a gang, a business that would comport to the RICO Act. Hello? You're in it. It's just unbelievable. Alright. It's going to take forever to load now.